Hey gang, we're starting a few minutes late tonight. We had a few technical difficulties, but we're here. We tried to give more notice this time because people said that they need more notice, and we were apprehensive to do that because, we got a lot of comments already. Like I said, we started a few minutes late, but we were apprehensive in the past several live streams to give more notice because we've had so many problems with live streaming over the past half a year or so. But we're here, we're queer, get used to it.
Hi everyone, thank you for joining us. It's so nice to see comments from the people who are joining us in the room. Let's check out who they are so we can give them a shout out to begin with. Brian Michaluk is with us. Hi Brian. Chris Vinci, hi to you. Benny Son, I saw your post on Facebook, thank you. Also, who else? Can you try to check?
We got Benny, Chris, Brian, and so far that's it.
Yep.
They've already been having a conversation without us since we started late. Chris is trying to watch it on an iPad. We're in the room, Benny. I think, like I said, I think there's just a general delay. So let's get started here. Someone said, "Why does Travis do most of the talking on our last stream?" And well, there's an obvious answer for that. Look at the name of whose channel it is. What's the name of this channel? It's the Travis Craft channel. But Imabelle's here. The reason I do most of the talking is it's hard for us to fit both in this 4:3 square aspect ratio. But the reason I do most of the talking is because Imabelle's the sidekick, man. And I think I need her to play off of. I've did one or two of these by myself. I don't think they worked as well without having her here. It helps keeping things flow. And Imabelle's not just a sidekick, and she had her own radio show. She's just the sidekick here on my show. And we're considering, though, Imabelle having her own channel, which would be, I would just mainly be behind the scenes in that. And this would be an opportunity for Imabelle to have her voice get out there. Because Imabelle's not the same as me. Imabelle has her own thoughts, her own opinions on things. And we've been talking about this for some time.
Yep, hi to you, Chris Bartlett. He said, hi both of you. Chris from Australia, hi there. And I hope all of you are seeing this right now because we can see it says...
Someone says they're getting a black let me try and go in.
Maybe it was earlier when we were still...
Let me try and type a comment.
Like what Travis said a few minutes ago, we
they're seeing it now.
Started late because of some technical glitch. But thankfully, we're here right now. Okay, so I guess you have to mute that.
See, I just went to the video, the actual, I could see it's delayed. That's what maybe you heard me talking. Ramon Bautista, who's a local comedian. He's associated with, I think, TV5, and he has a show on National Geographic Channel called The Science is Stupid. Mm-hmm. We actually met Ramon recently at the YouTube event, and he was nice and everything, but basically he's a local comedian. He had a performance. He had a gig in Davao, and basically he made a joke that didn't go over real well with some of the local government officials, and because of this joke that he made that they didn't like, they marked him a person non grata. Is that the term?
Persona non grata, I think.
Well, basically it means that he's not welcome in Davao anymore, is what the local government labeled him as. And that doesn't mean that he's banned, I guess. It just means that he's considered not welcome right now. But he can go there technically.
It's more like a suspension. He's not supposed to go to Davao for
they want to discourage him.
A number of months. I think it's
not a ban. No, they said it in the story I read that he can go to Davao, but basically he's labeled as an undesirable or unwanted person.
Thank you, Brian, for quoting us. Please stand by. We're experiencing technical difficulties. That's true. And Let's try to say hi.
Try refreshing your browsers, I guess. Chris can apparently see us.
Yeah, we have new friends in the room, new guests. There you go. Let me see. Hi to Chef Bacon. It's been especially crappy lately, it seems. Referring to.
I know, we're so distracted. This ruins my whole story that I was in the middle of.
Yeah, hold on. Hold that thought. Hi to Jackie Christensen. Hello from UK. It's working well there, he said, or she said. Chris Bartlett. We already said hi to him, right? Who else? Condal the Pie Man. Hi to you, who is in UK. Also to Bradley B. Hi, welcome. And let me see. Maybe you can.
Let me check the stream from another window.
Sorry for the interruptions, but we just have to check to make sure that...
It could be the internet here. It could be YouTube. It could be any number of things. Our last one went off without a hitch. I see it when I open it up in another window. But anyways, let's go on with the show here.
So you were talking about Ramon Bautista, who's not welcome.
Supposedly he's not welcome in Davao just because he made a joke that didn't go over well with some of the government officials, and it was just a joke. And I think one of the worst things about the Philippines is there's not really freedom of speech here. They have freedom of speech in the Constitution, but that's completely ignored. In America, if something's in the Constitution, it's like it's written in stone, man. And people are always talking about you have to honor the Constitution. But in the Philippines, there's really no such thing as freedom of speech. And I think that's a major flaw. You know, a lot of people, they say to me, oh, I want to go live in the Philippines because they have more freedom, man. It's not that way at all. They just have different things that they allow. But then there's other things that are completely different that they'll crack down on you, which is either not a crime in the United States or it's not a big deal. For instance, marijuana, which is quickly becoming legalized all throughout the United States. Here, that's a serious crime. In most Asian countries. If you don't believe me, ask Jackie Chan's son, although you probably can't get through to him because he's detained by the police now, that pothead. But I just think this lacking of not honoring freedom of speech in the Philippines, to me, it's a major issue, especially as someone that puts their opinion out there. And I'm a pretty non-offensive guy, but there's a lot of people out there looking to be offended by things. And I get threats every day. I get angry messages. I even get messages from people threatening me. You know, it's like I said, I don't think I'm a controversial guy, but there's people that will go crazy, and it's bad if there's people with a lot of power in the government that will do things just to mess with you. And I think, no wonder it's so easy for countries to invade and take over the Philippines if the United States isn't there to protect them, because a lot of people here, they're very concerned with things, unimportant things like this comedian's joke. You know, they should be concerned with more things, strengthening the nation, making the world a better place, instead of trying to create drama over a little issue of this guy's joke, which probably wasn't that bad, and they paid this guy to come in and tell jokes. Maybe some people didn't like it, but screw it. You know, what can you do?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't read the entire story. The city government or the government official from Davao, I think the joke was deemed to be offensive or disrespectful to the women, I think, of Davao. That's why they did it. So, and in fairness to the comedian Ramon Bautista, according to the news item I read, he apologized on stage after he was, I think after
he told the joke, and then he went backstage, and then the former mayor, she's not even the current mayor, this lady, because she's the former mayor of this town, apparently she thinks she's the censor of the city, or maybe she thinks she's Jesus Christ to tell other people what to do. And she got on his case. So the guy said, like, he admitted, I guess, he made a mistake, or he didn't want bad feelings. his intention wasn't to offend anyone. He went out on stage and he gave a public apology about it, and that could have been the end of it. But instead of just letting something slide when a guy makes maybe an error in judgment and something doesn't go over too well, he makes an artistic choice that's maybe not popular with everyone. He chose to apologize, make it right, but the local officials there, they wouldn't accept his apology. And he apologized again on Twitter after that. He's apologized at least 2-3 times now, and they won't accept his apologies. And to me, that's just being petty. If someone says something that they're sorry, especially the guy didn't get drunk and then go kill their children, run over their children. The guy made a joke that, some people didn't like, but I'm guessing a lot of other people maybe did like it. And when you're an artist or an entertainer, you're going to make decisions, and some of them aren't always going to be popular. When you're in that striving to please people, you can really, maybe mess up or do something that, like I said, some people probably liked his joke. A few people didn't like the joke, and then because of these certain people, especially if they're government officials, maybe that want to create drama, and to me, that's not fair.
I think on the part of the government official, she was just making sure that it will not happen again in the future. But I just hope forgiveness will not be a hard thing to give. But I guess that's their decision. One thing is for sure for Ramon Bautista is just going to get more popular because of this. And I guess it's still to his advantage. Only that I just hope people would not start hating him and stuff like that.
I don't even think he should really. After the first apology, he shouldn't apologize anymore. He should just say, "Well, I've apologized. If you choose not to accept it, tough crap. I'm done." To me, I would really admire someone that would do that. The problem is the United States, this politically correct.
I would just say at least that kind of attitude is something to is an admirable attitude, I guess.
So hopefully this stream is still rolling for you guys. It kind of goes back and forth between good and bad. We don't know what the heck is going on. We're looking at your comments. Apparently some of you guys were having problems commenting or viewing it from Firefox. Don't know why.
Meanwhile, let's try to check the new comments.
By the way, I think I said too much about that story. Now I'm probably the next guy to get in trouble. My point is, I love the Philippines, but there needs to be less pride in certain ways. People are too prideful here, and if someone points out something that could be done differently and just wants to help, people can jump all over them like me. If you point out that there's pollution here and we should be making changes to fix the problem, people do things like, well, China's more polluted or whatever, but that's not addressing the issue. There's no reason why we can't do our own part to try and make our place better. Not just the Philippines, but anywhere in the world. There's no reason to throw garbage on the ground or anything like that when it can be avoided, or to just do for each individual person to do their part. Myself included, I'm not above the law myself.
Yep.
I try my best to practice what I preach to you guys.
I just want to say something. You're not going to be the next Ramon Bautista because you're not.
Because I'm not going to be popular like him.
No, I mean I just want to be positive in everything. So hold on. Before you move on to the next point you want to share with them, let's try to see.
I swear, I hope there's so many people commenting that they've had problems. So if this is working for you guys, leave us a comment. Let us know. We're being conflicting comments in the room here.
Yep. Okay, we have one comment from Carlos Bariwan, Road One Boys. Road One Boys, I think they're from Road One.
In the neighborhood here.
Hi, Carlos. You're from Road One, so
we're broadcasting from Road One, but we're not going to give you the exact address.
You're in the neighborhood, huh? And then let me see. Okay, Bradley B. He said it's working now. Hi, Ronnie Rodriguez. Thank you for joining us.
It goes in and out for some of these guys.
I know. And
so we got Chris from Australia. Good day, mate.
Yep.
Ronnie's in the room. Brian. Chris Vinci, did we lose you on that iPad? I hope not, buddy. We appreciate you guys joining us. Can we talk about well, let's show the patrons, Imabelle.
Yep.
Hopefully let us know, leave us a comment to make sure that you guys are receiving this. And why don't you roll it, Imabelle, roll the credits.
Yep. Thank you, dearest patrons. Yep. And of course, our Patreon campaign is this.
Link is in the description to support us.
Yep.
I'll talk, go through the credits.
Thank you too.
Chris, my first patron, trying to watch us on that iPad. Corey's an interesting guy. He's coming to the Philippines. We just don't know when exactly.
Brian,
who's in the room, watching us live. Brian.
Also, thank you to
Scott,
Dallin,
who we will be talking to shortly. Okay.
Jim Malloy.
Jim, who sent me a private message through Patreon, and I think I helped him out with that, and I was happy to do so.
Yep. Thank you also to Don Moreno. Thank you to Judo Lloyd. There you go.
Lloyd.
And
keep rolling them out. Cynthia
Zerga.
Cynthia is my patron. I don't hear much from her, so I'm just going to assume she's enjoying all the stuff. Andy
Vargas.
Andy's in the Philippines, but he's in Pampanga area.
Oh.
And I was going to mention Andy, so it's a good thing because he's in Pampanga. He's going to school. He's having a good time, enjoying life as a single man, I guess, in the Philippines is how to put it. Maybe Andy would put it a different way.
Thank you, Mark Bringas.
Mark.
Another patron. Also, we have
Wade.
Weewa. Okay, correct me if I said it wrong.
You sound like you're drunk. I'm just kidding.
Thank you to Dave Hawley.
David sent me a message.
David Hawley.
I meant to bring up his oh no, go ahead. I'll finish my thought later.
Thank you,
Corbett
Bacon,
who's in the room live, as long as he's still with us, making sure he's still with us.
I would want to say Corbet. Corbett. And we have Robert Gaston. Also, we have Video Locks, aka Eric Valia. And of course, we have William. Tell him you can let us know what your last name is. Or
we don't know your last name,
how
William.
You want us to call you.
I don't think it showed up on the thing.
You know that's you. Thank you so much.
It did show up on the thing. So Brad says we make him feel better. He's just heading both of talk makes my entire day better. Well, thank you very much, Bradley. Even though we got off to a rocky start, I'm trying to read these comments. We need a separate engineer. Chris is still here. Let me see. Chris is here working. Okay, let's go on with the show. Unfortunately, not unfortunately, but just to let you guys know, I get so many emails every day, questions. A lot of these people want detailed information. But if I was going to answer them, especially since a lot of them, they're looking for very specific, detailed information. If I was going to do that, answer every email I get, it's going to take away so much time when I could be doing something that, like creating videos for everyone and things like that. But this past week, a couple patrons have written me with help that they needed or questions. Someone needed an email translated. They tried to put it into Google Translate, some of those things, but it wouldn't translate it because it was very poorly written and words were misspelled and run together. So we translated that for them. Happy to do that. So we cleared that up. I got another interesting question from one of my patrons where he said, I'm going to be going to the Philippines, what's the best way to send money to myself because I don't want to carry over a ton of cash that I'm going to need for the whole time. So I gave them a good answer for that. The best way, as long as you can wait a few days, the best way to get money to yourself. And like I said, every email I get from just people that watch my videos or strangers that come across me, it's mostly strangers that come across me. They search online for the Philippines. They find something about me that comes up, and then they just fire off an email. Hi, Travis. I'm a big fan of yours. Even though they probably just discovered me like 5 minutes before writing that email. I'm a big fan of yours. And they write me wanting something that, like a very specific, detailed answer that would take me a very long time to write, and I wouldn't be able to do other things. But for my patrons that are helping make these videos come together, I'm happy to do it. It's a very much reciprocal relationship, and that's the way relationships should be. It's a give and take of both parties. Because some of these people that write me these letters that I get every day, it can be frustrating for me because I just feel like, man, they just want to take and take and take and not give anything back. And, most people can understand what that would feel like, I think, if they had 1 billion. It's almost like these people want me to write a college term paper for them. And it's like, hey, man, I'm done with school. And even when I was in college, I didn't really write too many papers. And it's like now, just with my life, it's like it's a whole assignment every day to write these, that people want from me. And I understand that these people that write me, they don't understand that that's one email that I got that day of like 1,000 others that are similar and want different information about different things. I understand they think that, oh, maybe they're the only one that wrote me, or I don't get a lot of that. But it's too much for me. But for my patrons, they could always write me about anything, and I'm happy to answer because I can prioritize them. And that's part of the reason I started a Patreon campaign. I know who to dedicate my time towards instead of just these random strangers that happen to have just found me that evening, and then they fire off an email, and they're like saying, I'm a fan of yours. And it's like, come on, you probably just found me like 5 minutes before, watched one of my videos, and then wrote me something very specific.
Well, whether they've seen only one, or more than one videos, it's still a compliment, and that's something to be thankful for. The thing is, like what I was telling him when we were talking about this stuff, is that we really get a lot of emails either complimenting the videos we make, which is really heartwarming, and they encourage us to keep making more videos that will entertain you, inspire you, and inform you in any way we can through the videos we make. But, aside from that, we also get emails asking for specific answers, like how to do this, how to do that, where do I go, and this and that.
People ask questions, what kind of visa should I get? The people write me a lot of emails, what do you think of this girl that I've been talking to? And it's like, I don't even know the girl. How can I give an opinion? Because they'll write me, they say, oh, I've had this online relationship with this girl. I'm thinking about going and seeing her. Well, do you think she's playing me? But I don't know the girl. I don't know anything about I don't have any details of anything. So it's really, some of that stuff's really impossible. I can't just generalize every Filipino girl. If you're an ugly dude with a bad personality, then maybe she's using you. But I can't say without knowing you, without knowing her, without knowing exactly what you guys talk about. I can't just give a blanket answer like I'm reading her mind or I'm communicating through telepathy. Oh, that Gina Santos, yes, she's a user. Stay away from her. It's not magic. I can't read minds, so I can't. Even I got a message from someone the other day. He said, he said, I want to move to the Philippines and go back and forth 6 months of the year in the Philippines, 6 months a year in the United States. I'm looking for a vacation home. What can you tell me? It's like, well, first of all, I don't know what your budget is. And second of all, I don't know where you want to live. I don't know what your requirements are. So it was an impossible question to answer, Plus, it'd just be very time-consuming to answer it. He didn't give me much information to go off of to answer it. Like, for the number one question is, well, what's your budget? I can't even begin to give an answer without your budget? And Ronnie says, Dr. Travis. Yes.
Can I continue
Go.
with what I was going to say?
Yes.
I think I forgot it already. Anyways, yeah, those are examples of the emails we get. And personally, I am pleased and honored to be asked with those, and I help him. We help together to answer the emails. But because there are too many, we cannot answer all of them considering the time we have. So the unlimited time we have, because of that, we can only prioritize emails to answer. And of course, the patrons are the priority. And if you're not yet a patron, go ahead, be our patron, and that would really be highly appreciated. And would do our best to help you in anything.
Now is a good time to bring up a reason to become a patron, an added reason. We've been talking about a new patron series, a series on patron, where we teach people Filipino. And this is something that you brought up to me many months ago. I should do some tutorials teaching people Filipino, at least the basics. But I never wanted to do that because it would be a lot of work. Mm-hmm. And, it doesn't fit in with the theme of my YouTube channel so well, I think. But for patron, for something for them, we're going to do a series. We're going to do a series teaching people Filipino. It's going to be you and me both. I'm probably going to have you doing most of the teaching. You're actually a legitimate language teacher at the university level. So you're going to be, and you're a native speaker, so you'll be doing most of the teaching. I'll be doing more of the video production for that. But I'll be coming in too and chiming in. And I'll also be giving my thoughts on what I think that people, the needs to know versus the not needs to know that you don't need to waste time on, because it's all about giving you the most value for your time, cutting out the junk that you don't really need to know. Just earlier we were studying and there was some words that I didn't recognize. And when you tell me the meaning, I just say, forget it. I'm not going to spend time on that. I'm never going to use that word in a conversation. So I just throw it out and I focus on the words that I might actually use. Like, let's say I'm on a TV show being interviewed and someone asks me a question. What words should I know to answer that? Versus some of these deep words about the church and things like that of subject matter that's never going to come up. So to learn another language is what you want to do is you want to focus your time on the things that are actually going to be used. You want to focus on the most common words, phrases, the basic sentence structure, things like that. Don't worry about learning it at a master level of where you can have deep conversations about anything. For instance, you're never going to need to know terms to explain the Big Bang Theory to someone. No one's ever asked me to explain the Big Bang Theory to them in Filipino, and I'm pretty sure that's never going to come up in the Philippines, any kind of deep thing like that. But you're going to want to know, let's say you're going to go talk to a girl, or you're going to go to a store or a restaurant to order something. You're going to want to know that. And also, if people are around you, what words should you be able to pick out so you know what those people are talking about? Because something that's common in the Philippines, if you come here and people think that, oh, he's a foreigner, he doesn't understand our language, they'll talk about you right while you're in the room thinking that you don't understand. But if you really understand, maybe you might, I used to pretend not to understand people, and I'd let them have their little conversation, and I'd be like, okay, so that's what you're thinking. So Brian says that our sound quality has been good during this. Did we get a new mic? No, we're just using the laptop thing. And
nice to hear that.
I was thinking, though, I would like, to keep doing these live streams, I might want to step it up. Instead of using the laptop webcam and microphone, plugging in one of the other cameras and borrowing Kevin, my friend Kevin, who actually was nice enough to loan us his DSLR camera for some stuff that we were doing. He has a nice microphone. He already told us before when I saw it at the house he'd lend it to us. So maybe we'll try something with that mic sometimes. And hooking up another camera. Go ahead.
Yeah, that...
Go ahead.
Just go ahead. I was gonna say something, but we're moving on to another topic.
Oh, no, you can say something.
In addition to what you were saying about that tutorial series, the focus will be, I think, more on like conversational Filipino words or sentences, because like what Travis was saying, when you read a Filipino article or composition or any written material, you would see some words that you don't really encounter or which are not really common in everyday conversation. So just like when we were studying earlier, and that one article we used, he said like they don't seem common, and I'm not gonna use them. So I try to give him other words that are commonly used to replace those words. Just I think just the same with English, because I also teach English and communication subjects in the university as well as online to Japanese students, which sadly I had to stop because the laptop I was using was also stolen. So it's just like more
When you
of
were doing the online
yes,
teaching.
conversational Filipino, just like conversational English. So just so it's easier to learn, and it's practical. You can use it when you talk to someone, just like Roy Rodriguez. Hello to Galinda. You're talking to Galinda right now, right? Hi to you and Benny's son. Hello, pretty Imabelle. Thank you, Benny. Thank you for saying I'm pretty. We're both pretty.
And Chris says that he learned the swear words. It's this funny. I was going to bring this up. If you watch television here can be highly censored. However, the things that they censor are so different than what they would censor in the United States. For instance, a word that they censor on TV here usually is sex. If there's a movie or TV show like from the United States and they say the word sex, they censor that. However, if they say the F word, the C word for both the male and female genitals, or if they call someone a C sucker, that's not censored. That's okay. And in actuality, in English, those words are so much worse than the word sex. But you can't say sex, but you can say that guy's a C sucker. I mean, I'm not saying the word, obviously, but you guys know what I'm talking about.
Yep. Hope Rambo Marine said, "Wait for me, Ima. Hi, I'm
Pop
waiting
Rambo
for you."
Marine.
Pop Rambo Marine.
I guess he likes
yeah.
Rambo.
Have you seen Expendables 3? Because we just watched it a few days ago.
Did you know that Sylvester Stallone is going to make Rambo 5? That's in the news. They're making Rambo 5.
Are you asking that?
I'm asking Pop Rambo Marine.
Yeah. Travis got ripped. That's what he said.
I got ripped. You mean physically ripped?
Anyways.
Someone asked if Chris asked if Kevin lives in the Philippines all full time. Yes, he's lived here for I think about 4 years. He was just in the United States though for a month, but that was his vacation. Yes, he's lived full time in the Philippines for 4 years now. So
Chris Bartlett asked, "Is that Ina, like my name? I think Ima, Visaya or Tagalog." Ima is not Visayan. It's not Filipino or Tagalog. It's just a neutral name. It's Imabelle because it's a combination of my parents' name, and then my nicknames are either Ima or Mabelle. But most people call me Ima, and that's how they call me on my radio show. So that's it. Not a specific.
I could also
language.
share. I was watching the American news yesterday, and like they showed the journalist being that was killed, and the title said, "British jihadi like executes reporter." And I was saying, if her brother ever kills me, it'll say not British jihadi, it'll say Filipino jihad kills Travis, because his name is Jihad. So he's not a jihadi. He's actually literally a jihad. That's his name, Jihad.
Yeah,
but hopefully he doesn't kill me. Even though I am.
It depends.
Even though I am an infidel, hopefully he allows me to live.
Yeah, I noticed on some comments on our live stream, I think, or on a few videos, I saw comments saying like I'm a Muslim. Actually, I'm not a Muslim.
let's not talk
Yeah.
up the religion stuff.
Yeah, I know,
telling
no,
you.
but I'm just saying because it's funny because I still encounter that, so I'm not, and that's
Let's
it.
bring up Brian, but your family's Muslim. But let's not talk
No,
about
they're
that.
not
Let's
Muslim.
not
See,
talk
he
about.
brought it up. I'm a Christian,
You're
and my
telling
dad
me
is
you're telling
Muslim.
me Filipino jihad is not Muslim? It doesn't matter. I don't
What?
care what religion.
No, I was.
He's
oh,
Muslim.
You don't have to. You don't want to talk about it further.
Yes,
I just mentioned it, but you tried to like keep
You
going
always
back.
have to talk about religion.
It's,
We're not supposed to talk about.
I
We're not here to
didn't.
talk about
I didn't
religion.
mean to talk about religion. I was just talking about myself, if I can. So, because I noticed some comments on some videos.
We don't need to.
That's
you don't
why
need to
I
discuss
reacted
your
to
religion.
that.
You
So
don't-
I wasn't discussing about my religion.
Just like I don't need to discuss that I'm part of a satanic cult.
Oh,
I
well.
was avoiding that.
I'll be back. In a bit.
I was avoiding telling people about my membership in the satanic cult, but you brought it out of me, Imabelle. Let me check some of these comments. There's glitches. Brian says, "Oh, you got a Canon Vixia Mini." Yes, that's what this is. This is what I was going to talk about this just for the fun of it. This is what I shoot that new vlog series on. Wouldn't be possible without this. I know I've mentioned it in some other videos. I'm trying to get everything in the webcam here. But it's a great camera for vlogging. Some people bring up GoPros and they vlog with those. This is better if you're planning on using it as vlogging. The GoPro is an action cam. You can vlog with it. People do. I like this because, first of all, this is for vlogging, and it has like a little built-in tripod, so you can set it places. It has its own little tripod. The screen flips around, so you can see yourself when you're doing it, or like if you turn it around, you can see what you're recording. But if you want to record yourself, you can see yourself. And let me flip the screen again to show you. So the screen flips different ways so you can see everything. Great vlogging camera. I guess this isn't my camera though, unfortunately, not yet anyways. I just fell in love with this thing, and I love to mix and match the footage with the regular dedicated video camera that we use. And not my camera. I still don't own a video camera, actually, since our burglary. But we've been making do. And maybe the burglary, I think the burglary in some way where I got every piece of video making gear that I owned taken from me, in some ways that was a blessing in disguise, because for one thing, I wouldn't have had access to this type of camera here, this Canon Vixia Mini, and that made the whole vlog series possible that I've been experimenting with. And I think the vlog series is good because I don't have to stick to any particular format. I don't worry about perfecting everything so much. It can be a little bit more raw, a little bit more natural, and people still learn things, and they see the environment that I'm around. They can connect with me and see a little bit more about my life, some more behind-the-scenes type aspects. So I've been happy with that, and I've been very happy with this camera. Hopefully I can hang on to it. Hopefully I don't have to give it back anytime soon because I'm loving it. But Pop Rambo Marine says, Travis got lean muscles. I actually felt guilty because I haven't been working out. I haven't worked out for over a week. Whenever I shot that last vlog where I checked out the gyms, and I've just been very lazy this week. I've taken some time off, and hopefully I'm not... I'm trying to give the... Hopefully I'm not going all to crap here. But that's not the way it works. You especially if you build muscle naturally without the use of drugs, I think that even if you quit working out, I mean, it doesn't go away very quick. It takes time for it to go away. It goes away more gradually. If you built your muscle using drugs, I think that once you get off the drugs, especially if you stop working out, you lose it so fast. But if your muscle is natural, it takes longer for it to deteriorate and go away. But also, I think even if you quit working out for a while, and a week is nothing. A week is just, it's good to take a week off from working out here and there to kind of refresh and then go back to the gym. with a better attitude where you want to do it more instead of you have to do it. It can help refresh you mentally and physically if you occasionally take a week off from working out. But I got to get back in the gym this week, definitely. But I can get back into shape not too long, especially depending how I'm working out and if I'm dieting and that kind of thing. So Chris Bartlett says I'm a vampire. Why is that? Steve is in the room. Stevie. Hello, Steve. So, there's a delay in the comments. I swear I was going to. We're at 46 minutes into the stream now, and I was telling Imabelle before we did this, we should try and do these more often, but keep them shorter. I said we're going to keep it in between 30 to 40 minutes and then cut it off. We're at 46 minutes, but we can go a little bit longer, especially since there's a delay in the room. Ronnie says Glenda lives in Muntinlupa City. I do not know where that is, actually. Yeah, I'm not sure if you guys liked my satanic joke. I think so. Am I going to be the next Ramon Bautista where I get banned or like, we can't support that guy? That guy is evil. Hopefully not. Look, I like to make jokes too. So what's going on with you guys? But I'm going to close this out in not too much longer because I already went over what I'm supposed to be going over. Why don't you guys ask me some questions? But I know you're not going to, I just said this, but you're not going to hear it for another 2 to 3 minutes because of that weird delay. I wish this could be more in real time. I just got so distracted tonight too, unfortunately, because of those glitches, those difficulties. And anytime I'm seeing the comments in the room saying, oh, we're not seeing it, or the sound is messed up, it completely kills the show because it distracts you so much. Oh yeah, Brian's saying, what a shame that you did not get back to buy one. Hope you're back on your feet soon. We did a great job since the burglary of getting this channel back up, making do. I ran my first crowdfunding, my first foray into crowdfunding was after that. I'd want to do crowdfunding. This is part of the reason that might have been a blessing in disguise. I'd been interested in crowdfunding for probably over a year anyways, but I was afraid to do it. Because here's the thing about crowdfunding. If you take it to the people and you have people decide whether they want something to keep going or not, or whether they're going to vote to keep it going with their pocketbooks, that's the true test to see what your channel is worth. And if people don't support it, you're going to find out quick that your channel is not really worth or as important as you thought it is. So it's very scary to do these things. But the burglary, I said, okay, this is the time to do crowdfunding. And that was my first foray into it. I was able to get this computer that I'm using now, and I'm very thankful about that to everyone that contributed with that. I ran it very short in Indiegogo campaign. It wasn't really that long to get things back, and I couldn't really update the channel because I didn't have any access to a camera during that time, really. But I could get this computer back and get things working again. And I'm thankful about that. It put me in a position where I had to try something that I was kind of afraid of. But that was a blessing. And then now I have the Patreon campaign, which is great because it's ongoing, which is what you really need as a creator. I was thinking even when I did the Indiegogo, I thought, man, what I really need is something that comes in monthly. Because a one-time shot is nice, but it doesn't sustain you very long. So that was part of it. Steve says, which costs more, the GoPro or that camera? This is a Canon Vixia Mini. The GoPro costs more. I think the GoPro is around $400. This brand new is around $250, I believe. If you're in the United States, check Amazon. Check the internet. If you're in the Philippines, you can buy these at most Canon stores, and there's other camera shops that sell these. They're really fantastic cameras, especially if you're using this in combination with a dedicated regular video camera. And I also want to announce that I haven't done my Man on the Street series lately. I've been focusing more on the vlogs. My microphone has been going bad. I should be getting a new microphone tomorrow. And then I'd like to go shoot some more Man on the Street videos, but I have to come up with good topics. When I did that one called Why Filipino Girls Like White Men, that was really something that connected with people and got a lot of views. It's all about finding the appropriate topics. I'm considering doing one asking people their thoughts on Hitler, which could be kind of funny because most people in the Philippines don't know who Hitler is, even if in the United States he's such a talked about, still such an infamous guy that seems to always be on people's minds. And if you're from the United States, it's drilled into your head that Hitler's the worst person to have ever lived. So he's survived even in the minds of youth in infamy all these years. But in the Philippines, so many people haven't even heard of him. So if you show him a picture, I don't think most people would even know who he is. Even though to an American that would be funny because it's like, how can you not know who this dude is? You got to be kidding me. Joshua says, what weight do you recommend for a 15-year-old to lift? I would recommend that if you're going to start lifting weights, whether you're 15 or 50, I would recommend a very basic beginner program. Something, it's kind of hard to cover here without going into great detail, but basically a full body workout that's about 30 to 40 minutes, and you do that 3 times per week, 1 to 2 sets per body part. So for instance, the workout would look something like this. You go into the gym, you do a set of bench presses, at least 10 reps. If you can do 15 reps, the next time you add a little bit of weight and you keep it in that 10 to 15 rep range per exercise. And any time that you're strong enough to pump out 15, the next session you add a couple more pounds to it. So you start out, you do a set of bench presses, 10 to 15 reps. Then you go to like lat pull downs, 10 to 15 reps. And then you go to maybe some sort of shoulder pressing movement, 10 to 15 reps, maybe chin-ups, whatever you can do. It's different for different people. And then maybe a tricep exercise, and then follow that with bicep curls. And then you do maybe a set for your calves, maybe a set of thigh extensions, and a set of squats. Maybe probably front squats is what I would prefer if you're going to do squats. I don't do back squats anymore. I've had some back injuries, and I'm not going to put a steel bar across my back and do squats with it. Like it's too much pressure for my back. I can do front squats though, and for me, especially my build, front squats work my leg better. So, and that's only so many exercises. If the gym's not crowded, you could pump that out probably in 20 to 30 minutes. You do 10 to 15 reps per exercise, and you can make a lot of progress on that, especially in the beginning. You don't have to do a lot of work to necessarily get a lot of benefit. So without going into further detail, I would recommend something like that, whether you're 15 years old or 50 years old. Go to it. Just be safe, use good form. Always use good form. Don't do like some guys where they pick up a heavy weight and then they just jerk it up and use momentum to get it up. You want to make your muscles do the work. Otherwise, it's pointless what you're doing, and you're at risk for getting injuries, which is not why you should be working out. If you get hurt, then, you defeated the entire purpose. So, what's up?
Just fixing the names.
And let me check the time here. That was a good question, though. Steve says, if I can sell my house and move there in the Philippines, I would like to meet you in person. To treat you for drinks and food is on me. Well, thank you very much, Steve. But I would say just visit the Philippines. Don't make any rash decisions about trying to move to the Philippines is what I would say. Something like that is not something that you want to just jump right into, especially if you're going to do something as permanent as selling your home. So think it through. Take a vacation. I don't know if you've been to the Philippines, but at least take several vacations first, get some experience, and really think something like that through before doing it is what I would say.
Well, maybe Steve already came here like a few times.
Yes, I don't know. And we're at 55 minutes, starting to run way over. So what would you like to say before we go?
Thank you for joining us, guys, and I hope you're having a great day or a great night wherever you are. Enjoy the weekend.
Brian says anyone who thinks of moving to the Philippines from a first world country should check out Tagaytay. I like Tagaytay. We had a shoot there last December, I guess, is the last time I was there. And it seems like a small community, but definitely the weather's a lot cooler up there, which makes it a lot more livable for a white man.
Also, Tagaytay is closer to Manila. Tagaytay and Baguio have like cooler temperature, but Tagaytay is closer to Manila, so I guess Tagaytay would be a better choice. So, Brian, that's a good suggestion. I understand why you would tell them, like, you know, come here first to visit and don't decide to move here right away. Yeah, but the last decision will still be from you. I
Well,
guess
of course, I'm not
it's
making up
I
anyone's
know,
mind
but
for
it's always good to come here like for a few times and maybe stay longer so you really see how it is and if it really work out for you.
Yes, and I love answering these questions, but I'm worried for people that try and watch the recording that's going to be too long for them, too much to bite off. I guess even though we're going way over what I planned to do, because we had those difficulties too, I suppose we can keep it going a little bit longer than planned, even though, like, on the inside, I'm starting to feel guilty. Because, like I said, I'm just thinking about people trying to watch the recording. So, if you guys have any other of these questions, feel free to ask. Now is the time, especially since it's easy to get back to you. She's scrolling through the questions.
Hi Jennifer Ramirez, you're back. We missed you and like I think the the previous live stream you were not there. You were not with us. And yeah, Ronnie actually asked where you are, right? Was it you, Ronnie, who asked where Jennifer is? Nice to hear from you.
And he says something about Japan, which I was just showing this earlier. This is a Canon, a company that's from Japan. Now, this isn't made in Japan, as is everything else these days. It says made in China on the label, but it's a Japanese company, Canon. And you're probably asking yourself, well, Canon doesn't sound like a Japanese name. What does that mean? What's the origins? Why is Canon camera company called Canon? You know, because like you have other Japanese camera companies like Fuji or Sony. Those have like Japanese names, but Canon doesn't sound Japanese. So what's the origin of this? And if anyone can answer what that is, I'm going to give you this camera for free. No, I'm not going to give you the camera because
It's not even ours.
It's not my camera. It's not my camera, but if you know why Canon, the company, is called Canon, leave it in a comment. I know why it's called Canon. It's for an interesting reason, too. But that's your homework. Find out why Canon. I mean, with the internet these days, it's not too hard to find out.
Yeah, just Google it. Joshua Great, thank you for joining us. Have you read this? Shout out here from Pasig. Travis is my inspiration in working out. Thanks, bro.
I missed that one because I'm trying to talk to the camera and like the comments are going, and I actually missed that one.
Muntinlupa is like somewhere in the south. It's I would say it's far from Quezon City, but it's easy to go there. That's what Ronnie Rodriguez said about the place of Galinda. Yeah,
Okay.
what else? What else do you want to say?
Let's go to the new ones.
Yep.
You said, they're talking about Skype. My Skype isn't working on this computer. Brian says 4 to 5 minutes, usually on YouTube Live. I think like he means 4 to 5 minute delay. I hope it's not that long. Brian has arthritis. Yeah, I mean, anytime you have injuries, you can still do stuff, but you got to work out. You got to work around them. Especially guys that have shoulder problems. I mean, because the shoulder's used in pretty just about any kind of move, whether you're pushing, pulling. Anytime you like move your arm, basically your shoulder's involved. There's so many guys with shot shoulders that can't do certain exercises. Even me, I can't really do dips so well anymore. I used to strap like a lot of weight to myself, over 100 pounds, and pump out dips, and they really helped me to develop my triceps really well. But I can't do them anymore just because my shoulders, they can't, especially if you go down low, like I can't, my shoulders won't take it. They're just extreme pain if I try and do that. So, where are you guys typing from? United States mostly. We had Benny, who's in the Philippines, but I think we lost her. I know she seemed to have been getting a bad connection. Brian has a wrist problem, I think, is what gets him. It sucks getting old. Yeah, I used to get better with each year of my life. Now I just get worse with each year of my life. So I get better mentally with each year of my life, at least. So at least I can brag about that.
That should be the case. We all have to get better.
What else would you like to say, Imabelle? Would you guys like to see Imabelle have her own show? And this is something where I don't censor her. I try and censor her about certain things because it's my channel, and there's certain things I don't want to bring up because I don't want to create a divide between my viewers or a divide between people. So there's things that I try and not want her to talk about necessarily, but if she has her own channel, I suppose she can be uncensored in that. She can be unchained, off the leash, and go her own direction with it because she's not me. She's not me. She has her own thoughts and opinions on things, and definitely I have my own things that I believe that I want to do and that I should be doing. So that's how it goes. We had someone leave a comment on one of my videos. One of my videos just hit 500,000 views yesterday, and I posted it on social media saying, hey, this just hit 500,000 views. And someone said, oh, what does Imabelle think about this? And I'm not, it's hard to tell what someone means sometimes just through text because there's no tone like when someone speaks, where it's not what they say, it's how they say it. So you can't know what someone means all the time through text. But I think that maybe they meant that, oh, does Imabelle approve of this video because it's a little bit sexier than most of my stuff? But I said she loves it. But aside from that, I don't do things that she tells me to do. She might put her input in, but ultimately, if I'm creating something, I have to make the decision whether what I'm doing is right or not. And sometimes there's gray areas where you're not sure, and those are times when you might reach out to someone where I might reach out to Imabelle and say, what's your opinion on this? Should I do this? Should I not do this? Recently, we just had this talk about a hidden camera type of video I was going to do. And I thought maybe I can blur out the faces of the people because it's very important to me. I want to educate and entertain people, but it's also important to me that I don't embarrass anyone. I don't want to do anything to someone that makes them feel uncomfortable. I wouldn't want someone to do that to me, so I'm very conscious about treating people the way I would want to be treated. And I had this idea for a video that was going to capture people without them knowing it, and would have been a good video, but I was thinking, even if I try and obscure their identities or whatever, I wouldn't want someone doing this to me. So maybe I'd better scrap the idea. And I told Imabelle that I was scrapping the idea, and she said, yeah, that's the right decision. Is there anything you'd like to add?
Nothing.
Nothing? You're quiet all of a sudden?
You've said everything. I agree to everything you said.
Okay. Well, I guess I summed it up. But for other things, and I wouldn't expect Imabelle necessarily to clear everything with me, especially if she's going to create something artistic. If Imabelle was going to do a painting or a sculpture, I wouldn't expect Imabelle to say, Travis, am I allowed to do a sculpture of this subject matter? That's not my call to dictate to someone that's creating something what they're allowed to make and what they're not allowed to make. And even we just listened to a Joel Osteen sermon. I said we don't talk about religion here. I don't even consider Joel Osteen religion. And I think that that's something, regardless of your religious beliefs, even if you're an atheist, I feel like it's something that a lot of his talks are things that people of all walks of life and all religions could appreciate. But I like to listen to him, and I think that's okay to state publicly, even though I know some people don't like him, but whatever. But we just listened to a talk of his about how you can't listen to what other people have to say. You have to do what you feel is right, what you know is right. And you can't just do what other people want you to do. I mean, that was a terrible way of explaining his sermon. I failed him. But what is that? I wish we should almost hook up a link to that sermon, because I just butchered like the explanation of that. It was not a good explanation. So what do you have to say, Imabelle?
Hi to Evan Cortez. I saw a comment from him. I don't know if he already sent a shout out to him. And who else? Let me see.
Steve asks if we've ever been to Dumaguete. It's a nice place. I know a lot of people want to go there that visit from other countries. I have not been there. Maybe at some point. Joshua says, where will I be updated about the new live casts? It's the links in the description, facebook.com/TravisCraftOfficial. And now you're going through the things. I can't read them. Canon is just a name. Nope, it's not something that's made up. They have a reason for naming it Canon. There is a reason for that, but that's people's homework. Oh, someone else. Oh, he also asked, where can I see the updates about the live streams? YouTube should, like when I schedule one, as soon as I schedule it, it should appear in your subscription feed that a live event has been scheduled, and you can even click a button that says set a reminder. So this live stream did not go the way I wanted it to tonight because of all those dang problems. After that last one, I had so much confidence that we could pull off another live stream without a hitch. But dang it, that didn't quite happen the way I wanted it to.
Well, there are things that are...
James King is in the room. Hello, James King.
You know what Chris said, I can't work out. It's even hard to hang clothes out.
Chris has a disability of some sort. He messaged me about.
I'm sorry to hear that, but you know what? You're going to be in my prayers from now on, so you get better.
Well, there you go.
Am I not allowed to say that too?
We need an engineer so we don't have to try and flip around too.
And there's a construction behind the building.
Quiet out there, we're doing a live stream. So, what do you think, Imabelle? Should we call it quits soon? We went over twice as long. So Matagal now. Steve's from Hagerstown, Maryland. Joshua says canon is from the word canon. Am I right? You looked it up, didn't you, Joshua? Very good. Basically that. There's different spellings of it because Japanese, they use kanji, so they have those symbols. So the word for canon is spelled differently in their culture, and in other countries it's spelled differently. But yes, it's from that, but you didn't explain what that word means, what that word is a reference to. So I don't think we can give you full credit on that one, Joshua.
You know what? If you were not able to start, and when you were not able to join us from the beginning, you can still check out the recording afterwards. And it's really so nice to see you all, or to know that you're all joining us tonight, despite the technical glitches. And hopefully we can have a better and more fun live stream next time.
We stayed in Fort Bonifacio. If you spend any time there, that's actually where the headquarters of Canon Philippines is located, and they have
the main office.
Yeah, the main office, and they have a store there where you should be able to get these if you want. Generally, I don't spend a lot of time there. We've been there a little bit lately. They have that. We just went to that new mall, Aura. SM Aura. Very nice mall. You know, especially for an SM mall. Those vary to varying degrees. I mean, none of them are bad, but that one's a little bit fancier than the typical SM mall, like SM North. And SM North is nice.
And then
Redskin Robert says, "Take her off the leash." Well, that's if we get more patron supporters and they want to see that, we can spend time creating a channel for her, and but you know we gotta get the patron thing going a little bit more, you know, so I can dedicate time to some of these other things and put focus on them.
One thing, actually, it's not like it'll be my first time to do something like that. I really love doing radio show, and I did that. I just had to stop doing my radio show because I'm already based in Quezon City, and I have to do the radio show live. I've still been getting questions from the listeners of my radio show, you know, asking for questions like advice about relationships and stuff. So when I'll be able to have my own YouTube channel by God's grace, I think it'll be fun, and I'll really do my best to also entertain and inspire others through that in my own simple way, or I would say own special way. So we'll see, we'll see. Thank you so much for the encouraging words, by the way, from all
Thank
of
you.
you guys.
Yes, it's something. The main thing about starting a channel with Imabelle is it's something that would take up a lot of time, a lot more time. I'm not sure exactly how we would do it or exactly what we would do. A lot of it would be up to her, but it would take a lot of time because I'd have to like edit those videos, and it takes away from the stuff I would be doing from this channel. So we've been talking about, you know, if the patron thing works, I mean, when we get more patrons, if they want to see Imabelle, and it sounds like they do, so we can dedicate more time to that, starting up a new channel just for Imabelle, and Imabelle can do whatever the heck she wants.
By the way, James King also said, hope to meet you at Taco Bell one day. Sure, why not? I mean, like,
There's no Taco Bell in Fort Bonifaz.
yeah, Taco Bell, their branches
Gateway and
are
Trinoma.
only in Quezon City.